So this morning on Fox and Friends, on the Fox News Channel, Romney showed up. Eric Bolling, co-host, said, when you hear, like Rahm Emanuel's out there telling Obama to stop whining. Did you hear that? Rahm Emanuel said, you got to stop whining, buddy. Rahm Emanuel said yesterday morning on This Week that Romney should stop whining about all these attacks on his Bain record and just defend himself. Stop whining about it. Hey, it's the Chicago way. You don't whine. You know, whatever's said about you, get in there, you roll up the sleeves and you punch people out, do whatever. You got gangbangers murdering people in Chicago, you tell them. You don't complain about it. You just tell them stay away from the kids and murder other people. Don't whine about it. Of course, these are the people whining about George Bush every day. See, they're allowed to whine. When it's Bush's fault, it's perfectly fine to whine and moan and childishly complain. Look what Bush did to us. Bush did to... Hey, Mitt, stop whining. So, Eric Bolling says, you hear Rahm Emanuel say stop whining. What do you say back to him, Mr. Romney?
When people accuse you of a crime, you have every reason to go after them pretty hard. I'm very proud of the record that I had in my business career, helping turn around the Olympics and as the governor of the state of Massachusetts. But what does it say about a president whose record is so poor that all he can do in his campaign is attack me? A campaign based on falsehood and dishonesty does not have long legs. The president has only one thing going, and that is constant attacks on me, and they're dishonest, they're misdirected, and I think the American people recognize that kind of politics as something of the past. It may work in Chicago, but it's not going to work across America.
Well, but it has. It does. This is they had better understand that it can work. And he can't make the mistake that I'm making. I'm making the mistake. People aren't going to buy this. I said the same thing. They're not going to be able to push this. And they did after 6 years. This is why you people call me and tell me you think people in this country are stupid. I don't think that. But I do lose faith now and then. I think I have such reverence for the American people. I don't think they fall for stuff like, but they do. And then I get disappointed and I think, oh my God, what kind of people live in this country? For crying out loud, I'm sitting here telling myself, there's no way they can make a majority of people think that Romney's a felon. But I know that I'm wrong. They can, if they have enough time. Well, Romney's not just standing still. After that answer, Steve Ducey said, well, I know that your campaign was on defense last week, but now you're on the offense. And you want to draw attention to Obama's political payoffs versus middle-class layoffs. You say if you're a donor to the Obama camp, you'll do okay. But if you're in the middle class, you got to worry about your job.
There's no question but that when billions upon billions of dollars are given by the Obama administration to the businesses of campaign contributors, that's a real problem, particularly at a time when the middle class is really suffering in this country. I don't know whether you watched over the weekend the report that was in the New York Times about families really struggling, particularly those that are single parents that are just having a hard time making ends meet. This is a tough time for the people of America. But if you're a campaign contributor to Barack Obama, your business may stand to get billions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars in cash from the government. I think it's wrong. I think it stinks to high heaven. And I think the administration has to explain how it is they would consider giving money to campaign contributors.
When I hear this answer, I go back to Michael Goodwin's column in the New York Daily News, or New York Post a couple of weeks ago, where he said the problem, Romney just born at the wrong time. It just, the campaigns, the world is different now. And almost say the same thing about me sometimes. We do. We have two different eras here. Michael Goodwin, the New York Post. Romney's just a nice guy. But politics, he's 65 years old, and it's a different America. We talked about this 2 weeks ago, maybe it was a week ago today. We had that big, long, drawn-out discussion on whether or not the economy is enough of a campaign issue anymore because of the socioeconomic changes that have taken place in the country and so forth. Okay, so Mr. Limbaugh, since you have the answer to everything, then what would you suggest that Romney do if he's doing it? Okay, fine. Look, pal, when I was out creating jobs, investing in business, and growing this economy, you're at Columbia smoking weed, snorting coke. You write about it in your book. You talk about how you got into Columbia and to Harvard Law, and you didn't have to do anything. That was what's great about it. You loved getting into Columbia because all you had to do was go to class, get your grades, and smoke a little weed. Well, I was out building the country when you were doing that. That's the kind of... This is a Chicago barroom guy who doesn't care about the aftermath as long as he wins. This whole meme about Romney and is a felon, folks, the regime, Obama doesn't care if Romney's a felon or not. This is about how is it polling? Is this working? Doesn't matter where any of it's true. If they can convince people it's true, and if that helps them in the polls, then they're going to keep at it. It's that simple. But there is a gold mine of ways to attack Obama that he himself wrote about in his book. And it's all made to order, but this is bare knuckles. This is not two gentlemen squaring off in the ring under some sort of Queen Elizabeth rules or whatever the hell they are. I don't know. All right. I know. It's the Marquis of Queensberry rules. I just couldn't think of it off the top of my head, but I know that's what it was. Look, folks, Romney knows how to do this. He did it to Newt, and he did it to Santorum. He knows full well how he has to do this. But I know what they think they're up against. They got the first black president, independence. See, it's easy to go after Newt or Romney because they're conservatives and everybody hates conservatives anyway. But we can't go after poor old Barack that way because he's a minority and all this other